Christopher Columbus, a name that echoes through the corridors of time, forever synonymous with the age of exploration and the meeting of two worlds. But why did this Italian navigator, sailing under the Spanish flag, become one of the most famous and debated figures in human history? Born in Genoa in 1451, Columbus was shaped by a time when the horizon was a boundary of both fear and immense possibility. In Lisbon, he became an expert mapmaker, studying the currents of the Atlantic and the theories of ancient geographers. The fall of Constantinople had closed land routes to the east, making the search for a sea path to the spices of Asia a matter of global importance. While others looked south around Africa, Columbus proposed a radical idea, sailing west across the vast and unknown Atlantic Ocean. His plan was dismissed by experts across Europe. They didn't think the Earth was flat, but they knew the distance was far greater than Columbus claimed. For years, he lobbied monarchs with relentless persistence, facing poverty and ridicule as he sought the necessary royal patronage. Finally, after the fall of Granada, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain decided to gamble on Columbus's vision. With 3 small vessels and a crew of 90 men, he prepared for a journey that most expected would end in disaster. On August 3, 1492, they set sail from Palos, stopping briefly in the Canary Islands before heading into the Blue Void. Weeks turned into months. The crew's morale plummeted as the magnetic compass behaved strangely and land remained elusive. Then, in the early hours of October 12th, a lookout spotted the moonlit cliffs of what is now the Bahamas. Columbus stepped onto the shore, claiming the land for Spain and naming it San Salvador, still believing he was in the Indies. This encounter marked the first meeting of 2 distinct civilizations, an event that would bring both wonder and tragic consequences. He explored Cuba and Hispaniola, obsessed with finding the gold and spices that would justify the massive cost of his expedition. Columbus returned to Spain a hero, parading exotic plants, colorful birds, and indigenous captives before the royal court. This was the beginning of the Columbian Exchange, a global transfer of life that would redefine the diets and economies of every continent. For the first time in history, the world was truly connected. It was the birth of the modern globalized era. Yet, his legacy is deeply stained by the colonization, disease, and exploitation that followed his arrival in the Americas. He became famous because his voyage shattered the medieval worldview and proved that the ocean was a bridge, not a barrier. Columbus never knew he had found a new continent, but he fundamentally altered the course of human history forever. Thanks for watching.